Forward. Yeah, all right. Welcome everybody to Wednesday. Nice and sunny day today. Yeah, so like I said, I got some new books, some pretty cool ones, and we'll start with the hello song, as usual. Let me get a little sip of coffee. All right. Yeah. La 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 la. Oh, who's not? Oh, Henry. Yes, Henry.
I'm gonna change my name right now, okay?
Okay, hurry. What is it?
I'm gonna change my name.
Yeah, what is it? What are you changing it to?
Mario with a bullet hand.
Mario with a bullet hand? Okay. Okie dokie. Thank you, Henry. All right. Here we go. Start over again. Henry got to change his name. That's cool. Here we go. Yeah. Hello, everybody. So glad to see you. Hello, everybody. Oh, we're so glad to see you too. Hello, to Rainbow Unicorn with sparkling hair. So glad to see you. Hello, to Franny. We're so glad to see you too. Hello, to Shy. So glad to see you. Hello, to Mario with the bullet hand. So glad to see you too. Hello, to Shay. So glad to see you. Hello, to a taco. We're so glad to see you too. Hello, to Sophia. So glad to see you too. Hello, to Kitty. We're so glad to see you too. Hello, to Monster. Oh, so glad to see you. Hello, to Eva. We're so glad to see you too. Hello, to Elliot. So glad to see you. Hello, to Abby. We're so glad to see you too. Hello, everybody. So glad to see you. Hello, everybody. We're so glad to see you. Yeah, and we are so glad to see you as usual. And I really can't wait till the day is going to come someday when we can see each other in person again. I don't know when that's going to be exactly, but very soon, I hope. But until then, we'll be doing the, they call it virtual, right? The on the screen time. All right. I might have to get another book because I only brought two. I don't know why I did that, but anyway, because books go much faster when you guys are not there because no one can ask me any questions. So I just keep going and going and going. This one's called Miss Spider's Tea Party. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool story. People are afraid of her. We'll find out. Let's see. Who wrote this book? Miss Spider Tea Party, drawings and verse, which is like poetry, was written by David Kirk. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, this is sort of a counting book too. It's got numbers in it. So it starts with one lonely spider sipped her tea while gazing at the sky. She watched the insects on the leaves and many flying by. If I had friends like these, she sighed, who'd stay a while with me, I'd sit them down on silken chairs and serve them cakes and tea. So she's all by herself at home. Looking out the window, she sees a lot of different bugs and insects, and she's like, I wish some people would come over and, hang out with me. Tea party and such. Two timid beetles, Ike and May, crept from the woodwork that same day. But when Miss Spider begged them, please stay, they shrieked, oh no, and they dashed away. Oh dear, so she's like, hey, do you want some tea? And maybe, I don't know, crumpets or something? And they're like, ah, Spider! And guess what? You know why they're afraid of Spider, even though she was very friendly? Because spiders in real life, they eat bugs for, to stay alive. That's what they eat, not leaves and stuff like other bugs. So that's why they're afraid. These fireflies flew inside the night. I'm sorry, 3 fireflies. There's 3 of them, I tell you. Flew inside that night, their spirits high, their tails alight. They spied the web and squeaked in fear, we better get away from here. The little trio did not feel that they would care to be a spider's meal. So this is at night, and this is Miss Spider. I think she must be asleep in a leaf or something. So they were afraid of just even, I don't think they even saw her. They saw just only her web. And they're like, ah, spider web. 4 bumblebees buzzed by outside. Please come to tea, Miss Spider cried. The 4 ignored her swaying there. She waved a tea towel in the air. She took a cup and tapped the glass. Then one bee spoke to her at last. We would be fools to take our tea with anyone so spidery. So even a bee is afraid of a spider, I guess. I don't know if spiders eat bees. I guess they would if they could. Ooh, this book is really ripped. All right, here we go. When the shadows of the room, within the shadows of the room, just peeking from behind a broom, 5 grinning faces bobbed and peered. Miss Spider smiled, her heart was cheered. Descending for a closer look, descending means to go down, she danced into the gloomy nook, but sadly found those jolly mugs belonged, alas, to rubber bugs. Oh, they're just toys. See, they didn't run away because they're not even alive, I guess. Those are toy bugs. So she got tricked. She thought they're real, but they're not. Some ants strode in, they numbered 6. The ants with spiders will not mix. She brewed them tea from hips of roses. The proud platoon turned up their noses. I don't want any of your spider tea. But they got really close. Maybe they're not scared of her. I don't know what that's all about. They're right there at the table, so they don't seem too afraid, right? But they don't want the tea. They're too proud. I don't know. Maybe they don't like that kind of tea. I don't really understand. A fine bouquet concealed its prize of 7 dainty butterflies. Miss Spider was watching from the wall, was not aware of them at all. Oh, I see. So she didn't see them. They were hiding. Let's see if we can find 7 butterflies. Okay, get this picture up closer. Let's see, I see 1 right there, purple. I see 2 right there, yellow one. I see 3 right there, very blended in, pinkish one. 4. I gotta look this way, I can't do it on the screen. Oh, 5, a blue one down here. And where's 6 and 7? Oh, I think, did I count this one already? I probably did. Oh, here's 1, 6, a blue one. Where's 7? Oh, this one, this little blue one on a green flower. So she didn't even see them. That was it. They were just hiding. The tea table was set for 8, with saucers, cups, and a silver plate. The cakes were fresh. The service gleamed. The service is the plates and stuff in the whatever, the forks and knives. It gleamed. That means it's very clean. Yet no one would arrive, it seemed. Her company in no demand left her a cup for every hand. Oh, and she is very sad. She has a whole table set up to have a tea party, but no one's coming, and she has to drink it all by herself with her 8 legs for 8 cups, I guess. 9 spotted moths kept safe and warm in shelter from a thunderstorm. They stood beneath an open sash. Open sash is like part of the window, the bottom part of the window. Blah 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 blah. Where open sash and watched the jagged lightning flash. Miss Spider dropped down on a thread, a silver tray above her head. She hoped to please them, but instead, so there she is coming down. She's like gonna have a present for them, some food and stuff. But instead, they flew away in mortal dread. Ah, spider! They took off even though it was raining. And this guy, these are the two guys from or girl and guy from the beginning, Ike and May, right there. You have a leaf for umbrella. They've left me all alone, she cried, and she dabbed her eyes and sadly sighed. It's plain no bug will ever stay, and her tears splashed down on the tray. Oh, crying. But this one, this shows these two people, bugs. And this one's like pulling this one to go, but this one's looking back and saying, wow, she looks really sad. I think they're going to do something. I don't know, though. I can't remember. 10 tiny steaming cups of tea were perched atop her trembling knee. Oh, she has 10 cups on the tray there. Uh-oh, am I taking the picture out? There you go. She sipped and sobbed, then heard a cough, and turned to see one small wet moth. A fragile thing, so soaked by the rain, his wings too damp to fly again. Rain again, that's funny. So this one got so wet, I think this is one of the 9 moths that it can't even fly and it's stuck there. And it looks very afraid, like, oh no, the spider saw me. She smiled and took a checkered cloth to cloak the frail and thankful moth. So she gave the moth like a blanket. They talked and snacked on tea and pie until his tiny wings were dry. Then, lifting him with tender care, she tossed him gently in the air. So she was nice to him. She fed him some food, had some tea. Then when he dried off and he could fly, she let him go. She said, go. And he even gets an extra slice of pie to Gozies. The moth told Ike, then Ike told May. Oh, I see. The moth is telling Ike, this guy, about, oh my gosh, that spider, guess what? Friendly. And then, the moth told Ike. Ike told May, who went from bug to say, there's no reason for alarm. She never meant us any harm. So later on that afternoon, assembled in the dining room, 11 insects came to tea to share Miss Spider's courtesy. Oh, they all came back. Well, some different ones too, but anyway, a bunch of bugs came back and they're having like a tea party and they're all excited. They're all, yay, she's a friendly spider. 12 tender violets in a vase presented at Miss Spider's place. Set by her chair, so neatly spun, she munched the blossoms one by one. Her friends were glad to watch her feast upon the floral centerpiece. It was a great relief to see she ate just flowers and drank only tea. Miss Spider's reputation grew, and before too long our hostess knew each bug who crawled or hopped or flew, and all their lovely children too. They found out she does not even eat bugs. She eats flowers. So they're like, all right, now we can go to her house every day because she's friendly and she won't eat us. Yay, she's friends with all the bugs and the kids bug kids. That's pretty cool. I like that story. It's a good one. It's like a real life story. People are kind of sometimes afraid of other people, even though they don't know why, just because like they think maybe they're going to be bad, but you don't really know until you talk to them, right? I think. All right, here we go. This is one of my favorite stories of all time. It's called Sylvester and the Magic Pebble. And let's see who wrote this one. This is written by William Steig. All right, let's This is an old book, huh? It's falling apart too. Oh yeah, 1969. It's very old. All right, here's how it starts. Sylvester Duncan lived with his mother and father at Acorn Road in Oatsdale. One of his hobbies was collecting pebbles of unusual shape and color. So there he is at his house with his mom and dad, and he's like a rock collector. See that he has a jar and a bunch of rocks on the table. What does that call a rock collector? Oh, there's a name for that. Well, geologist is someone that studies the earth and the rocks and stuff, but I don't know what you call it. There's a name for rock collector. On a rainy Sunday during vacation, he found a quite extraordinary one, being a rock, extraordinary rock. It was flaming red, so very shiny red. Bright red, shiny, and perfectly round, like a marble. As he was studying this remarkable pebble, he began to shiver, probably from excitement, and also the rain felt cold on his back. I wish it would stop raining, he said. So it's raining, and he's like, cold, I wish it would stop. And to his great surprise, the rain stopped. It didn't stop gradually like rain usually does, like a little pitter patter, less. It just stopped all at once, like whoosh, no more rain. The drops vanished on the way down, and the clouds disappeared, and everything was dry, and the sun was shining as if the rain had never even happened. So that's weird, right? Just all of a sudden. In all his young life, Sylvester had never had a wish gratified so quickly. It struck him that magic must be at work, and he guessed that the magic must be in the remarkable-looking red pebble, where indeed it was. To make a test, he put the pebble on the ground and said, "I wish it would rain again." Nothing happened, so it was shiny, sunny still. But when he said the same thing while he was holding the pebble in his hoof, the sky turned black and there was lightning and a clap of thunder, and the rain came shooting down right away. So guess what? When you're touching the pebble and you make a wish, it comes true. I think that's what they're saying. What a lucky day this is, thought Sylvester. From now on, I can have anything I want. My father and mother can have anything they want, and my relatives and my friends and anybody at all can have everything that anybody wants. The magic pebble. He wished the sunshine back in the sky, and he wished a wart on his left hind fetlock would disappear. Fetlock, I think, is part of your leg. I don't really know. So he got his wart off, and it did, and he started home, eager to amaze his father and mother with his magic pebble. He could hardly wait to see their faces. Maybe they wouldn't even believe him at first, so he's very excited, going home like, "Mom, Dad, check out this pebble." But on the way, something happened. As he was crossing Strawberry Hill, thinking of some of the many, many things he could wish for, he was startled to see a mean, hungry lion looking right at him from behind some tall grass. He was frightened. If he hadn't been so frightened, he could have made the lion disappear, like he could say, "I wish this lion would disappear." Or he could have wished himself safe at home with his father and mother. He could have wished the lion would turn into a butterfly or a daisy or a gnat. He could have wished many things to fix the problem, but he panicked and he couldn't think carefully. "I wish I were a rock," he said, and he became a rock. The lion came bounding over, sniffed the rock 100 times, walked around in it, and went away confused, perplexed, puzzled, and bewildered. "I saw that little donkey as clear as day. Maybe I'm going crazy," he muttered. So he saw the donkey turn into a rock, and he's like, "What the heck? Where did the donkey go?" And he's confused. And there was Sylvester, a rock on Strawberry Hill, with the magic pebble lying right beside him on the ground. And he was unable to pick it up because he's a rock, so now he can't touch the pebble, right? "Oh, how I wish I were myself again," he thought, but nothing happened because he wasn't touching it. He had to be touching the pebble to make the magic work, but there was nothing he could do about it. His thoughts began to race like mad. He was scared and worried. Being helpless, he felt hopeless. He imagined all the possibilities, and eventually he realized that his only chance of becoming himself again was for someone to find the red pebble and to wish that the rock went to next to it would be a donkey. Oh dear, someone would surely find the red pebble. It was so bright and shiny. But what on earth would make them want to wish a rock were a donkey? The chance was 1 in a billion at best. Sylvester fell asleep. What else could he do? Night came with many stars. So there he is, just sitting on the hill. Meanwhile, back at home, Mr. and Mrs. Duncan paced the floor, frantic with worry. Sylvester had never come home later than dinner time. Where could he be, they wondered. They stayed up all night wondering what happened, expecting that Sylvester would surely turn up by the morning, but he didn't. Of course, Mrs. Duncan cried a lot, and Mr. Duncan did his best to soothe her. Both longed to have their dear son with them. I will never scold Sylvester as long as I live, said Mrs. Duncan, no matter what he does. They really missed their boy. At dawn, they went out inquiring of all the neighbors, asking them if they saw Sylvester. Have you seen him? Have you seen him? He's even asking ducks, it looks like. They talked to all the children, the puppies and the kittens and the colts and the piglets, but no one had seen Sylvester since the day before yesterday. No one seen him. They went to the police, and the police could not find their child either. They're like, sorry guys, don't know where he is. All the dogs in Oatsdale went searching for him. They sniffed behind every rock and tree and blade of grass, into every nook and gully of the neighborhood and beyond, but found not even a scent of him. They sniffed the rock on Strawberry Hill, but it just smelled like a rock. It didn't smell like Sylvester. So they went right up to him, but they don't know it's him because he just looks like a rock. After a month of searching the same places over and over again and inquiring of the same animals over and over again, inquiring just means asking, Mr. and Mrs. Duncan no longer knew what to do. They concluded that something dreadful must have happened and that they would probably never see their son again, though all the time he was just less than a mile away. They tried their best to be happy, to go about their usual ways, but their usual ways included Sylvester, and they were always reminding of him. They were miserable. Life had no meaning for them anymore. They're sad, 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 because they don't have their son. Night followed day, and day followed night, over and over again. Sylvester on the hill woke up less and less often. When he was awake, he was only hopeless and unhappy. He felt like he would be a rock forever, and he tried to get used to it. He went into an endless sleep. The days grew colder. Fall came with the leaves changing color. Then the leaves fell, and the grass bent on the ground, to the ground. So the seasons are changing. It's changing to the cold time of year, winter. Then it was winter, and the winds blew this way and that. It snowed. It snowed, period. Mostly the animals stayed indoors, living on the food that they had stored up. One day, a wolf sat on the rock that was Sylvester and howled because he was hungry. Howling wolf, oh, hungry. All the animals get hungry in the winter because there's hardly any food around. Then the snows melted and the earth warmed up in the spring sun and things budded. Everything started growing again. Leaves were on the trees again and flowers showed their young faces. And there's Sylvester. Oh dear, 10-minute warning. There's Sylvester and there is the magic pebble still there. One day, in May, Mr. Duncan, insisted that his wife go with him on a picnic. Let's cheer up, he said. Let us try to live again and be happy, even though Sylvester, our angel, is no longer with us. And they went to Strawberry Hill. And guess what's on Strawberry Hill, guys? Sylvester's there. They don't know that yet. Mrs. Duncan sat down on the rock, and the warmth of his own mother sitting on him woke Sylvester up. See, she's sitting right on him. He woke him up from his deep winter sleep. How he wanted to shout, "Mother, Father, it's me, Sylvester, I'm right here." But he couldn't talk. He had no voice because he's a rock. So he couldn't say anything. Mr. Duncan walked aimlessly about while Mrs. Duncan set out the picnic food on the rock. Alfalfa sandwiches and pickled oats and sassafras salad and some Timothy compote. I don't even know what that is. Compote is like a jam or something. Suddenly, Mr. Duncan saw the red pebble. Oh, he saw it. "What a fantastic pebble," he exclaimed. Sylvester would have loved it for his collection. And he put the pebble on the rock. Get it? So now it's touching Sylvester, right? See what I'm saying? I don't know if Sylvester knows that though, because I'm not sure he can feel it. They sat down to eat. Sylvester was now as wide awake as a donkey that was a rock could possibly be. Mrs. Duncan felt some mysterious excitement. "You know, Father," she said suddenly, "I have the strangest feeling that our dear Sylvester is still alive and not far away." I am, Sylvester wanted to shout, but he couldn't. If only he had realized that the pebble resting on his back was the magic pebble he didn't know. "Oh, how I wish he were here with us on this lovely May day," said Mrs. Duncan. Mr. Duncan looked sadly at the ground. "Don't you wish it too, Father?" she said. He looked at her as if to say, "How can you ask such a question?" Mr. and Mrs. Duncan looked at each other with great sorrow. "I wish I were myself again. I wish I were my real self again," thought Sylvester. And in less than an instant he was, because he wished and the pebble was touching him, and boink, he turned back into a donkey with all the food on his back. You can imagine the scene that followed, the embraces and the kisses and the questions and the answers, the loving looks and the fond exclamations. They are so happy. They're like, "Yay, he's alive, the sun is back." How much time do I have? Ooh, okay, getting a long time. When they had eventually calmed down a bit and had gotten home, Mr. Duncan put the magic pebble in an iron safe. Someday they might want to use it, but really, for now, what more could they wish for? They all had all that they wanted. They got their son back. The end. Aw, I love that story. That's a good one, right? Okay, I don't think I have enough time for another, another story. So I will do extra songs, I suppose. Let's see, does anybody want to try to sing along with Hot Wheels or something like that? Let's see, what can I do? Wait, how do I unmute? Where's unmute? Oh dear. I'm sorry, where's unmute? I don't see it now.
Color, please.
Oh, you want color song? Okay. Oh, yeah. Where's unmute? No, I guess I have to do it by, what do you call it? What the heck? Am I not the owner or something? Oh, man, I don't know what's going on.
I think I'm muted.
I know, but I am hitting unmute, but then it says just unmute. Oh, dear. Let's see. I can only ask to unmute? Okay. No, I don't want to chat though. Oh dear, I'm having difficulties, guys. Let's see, maybe some more. Enable, wait a minute. Oh dear. I'm so sorry. I can't work this, guys. I can't unmute everybody. Oh, here we go. Unmute. Oh, I see. It says only ask to unmute. That's weird. Why? No. Oh well.
Oh no, it says that you unmuted us.
Yeah, I know. Some of them I can and some not. I'm still not really good at this. That is weird. That's never happened to me before. Oh well. Guess I'll figure it out after. But for now, oh, someone said color song? Okay, we can do that. I'll do Hot Wheels really fast. And then we can do a color song for the goodbye song.
My mom will help.
No.
What do you say?
I can't help Franny.
Okay, ready to sing Hot Wheels with me, guys?
Race car.
There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hot Wheels, race car. 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 When you're going around the turn, your wheels, they might get burned. When you go on the straightaway, you gotta hit the gas. Hot Wheels, race car. 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 Yay, all right. I think I have time for color song.
This is the open side. This is the muted side.
Okay, here we go. If you got pink on your clothes, if you got pink on your clothes, if you got pink on your clothes, you can go wash your hands. If you got yellow on your clothes, that's me. If you got yellow on your clothes, if you got yellow on your clothes, you can go wash your hands.
Did he say your name already?
If you got blue on your clothes, if you got blue
Well,
on
maybe
your
good.
clothes, if you got blue on your clothes,
Let's finish watching the show.
go wash your hands. If you got green on your clothes, if you got green on your clothes, if you got green on your clothes, then you can go wash your hands. Yeah, if you got purple on your clothes, if you got purple on your clothes, if you got purple on your clothes, you can go wash your hands. If you got black on your clothes, if you got black on your clothes, if you got black on your clothes, then you can go wash your hands. If you got orange on your clothes, if you got orange on your clothes, if you got orange on your clothes, then you can go wash your hands. Yay, all right. Thanks everybody for coming in. I miss you all so very, very much. I love you. Mwah, mwah. And I'm hugging you. And I miss you. And I hope you all have a lot of fun today. Put on your face, have fun, play around. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, here we go.